Hello Internet, nice to see you. Today I want to talk about the magic of third inversion chords. Now what is a third inversion? Well, let's say that you have a triad, a major chord. Let's say we have the G major chord. The notes in G major are G, B, D. If when we play G major we play with the G note at the bass, we have the chord in root position. If when we play the G major chord we put the B at the bass, which is the third, we have the first inversion. If instead we put the fifth, the D at the bass, we have the second inversion. And that's it for a triad. There is no third inversion. But if rather than having a G major triad, we had a G dominant seventh chord that has notes G, B, D, F, then when I put the seventh, the F at the bass, I get a third inversion chord. This chord by itself is slightly dissonant and it works only in the right context. So how do we use them? We're going to see right now a few suggestions so that you can use chords like that in your next song. First of all, let me remark that this chord here, G7 in third inversion, it's usually written G/F, which means the G chord with the F note at the bass. Now, since G7 is the fifth chord in the key of C, let's work in the key of C that has notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B. First we do everything for G/F, and then we see what we can do with the other third inversion chords in the key. So again, this chord is unstable by itself, which means that it needs to be resolved. How do you resolve a third inversion chord? Well, we know that normally the fifth chord of the key, G7, resolves the first chord of the key, C major, that is a fifth below. And in general, every chord can move to the chord that is 1/5 below in the key. So it seems logical that this G/F resolves somehow to some form of C major. Now, one general pattern in tonal music that everybody should know, but that somehow few people know, is that the seventh of the chord tends very strongly to resolve down. If you did not know that, then my suggestion would be to go immediately and have a look at my course Complete Chord Mastery when we talk about this and everybody else you need to know about chord. Because this little thing, it's absolutely fundamental to make things sound good when you play tonal music. Anyway, the seventh of the chord resolves down. The F at the base of G/F is the seventh of the chord, and so it will move down when we resolve the chord. So the G chord resolves to the C chord, the chord a fifth below, like it's normal in tonal music, and then the F note resolves down to the E note, which is in the C chord, but is now played at the bass. So the G/F chord resolves to the C/E chord. All this may look complex the first time you see it, but it's in fact quite natural, and it plays beautifully. And of course, this is just the main resolution of the third inversion chord. There are other ways to move after a third inversion chord, but right now we see only this. Now, most people who study music theory read what I just explained to you in a book, then they close the book, and then they try to play this, and they find out that the third inversion chords do not work. Why? Because this is just half the story. The other half of the story is that since the chord is dissonant, you need to introduce or prepare the chord, meaning that you have to play a specific chord before the third inversion chord. Specifically, there are two ways to prepare a G/F. Option number one is to play the same triad, G, in root position. So you're going to have a chord progression like C, then G triad, then G/F, and then you resolve to C/E. Option number two is, before G/F, you play the triad built on the bass of the chord. The bass is F, and the triad built on F is F major. So you can have a chord progression like C, F, that prepares G/F, and then resolve to C/E. Now let's see all the third inversion chords in the key of C major, so you have all the possibilities spelled out for you. The triads in C are C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished triad. The seventh chord are C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7, and B minor 7th flat 5. So the third inversion chords are C/B, D minor/C, E minor/D, F/E, G/F, A minor/G, and the B diminished triad/A. All those chords are usable, even if by themselves they sound strange. If you prepare them and resolve them like I shown before, they sound great. So here's just a couple of examples. Let's say I want to use C/B. I'm going to prepare the chord and I'm going to use the C chord. So I'm going to play first C, then C/B. Then I'm going to resolve this chord. The chord down a fifth from C, it's F, following the cycle of fifths. And the bass note B goes down to the A note. So I get an F/A, an F in first inversion. Then after that I'm going to play a G chord and a C chord just to round up the chord progression. Here's how it sounds. Let's say instead we want to use D minor/C. I have to prepare this chord, and this time I'm going to prepare it the other way. So I'm going to take the triad built on the bass, which is C. So I'm going to start with the C chord, then play D minor/C. D minor resolves a fifth down to the G chord. The C note goes down to B, so I have a G/B, a G in first inversion. And then I'm going to put at the end a C chord just to round up the chord progression. Another example using F/E. I'm going to prepare this chord by playing an F triad just before. Then the F resolves down the cycle of fifth, so it's going to resolve to a B diminished triad, and I know that resolve may not be the right word here, but believe me, it's going to work. The E note resolves down to D, so I'm going to have a B diminished triad with a bass of D, or a B diminished triad if you want, in first inversion. I'm going to put a C chord at the beginning and at the end just to fix in mind the fact that we are on the C major key and to round up the chord progression. And this sounds this way. Of course, those are just a few simple examples. There is much more that you can do with third inversion chords and with other inversion and other ways to put together chords. And you can find all of that in my course, Complete Chord Mastery. Complete Chord Mastery is not a book. It's a complete video course made by guitar players for guitar players. There are no examples made on the piano. Everything is done directly on the fretboard, so it's immediately applicable to all guitar players. You do all your theory straight on your instrument and you learn immediately how to apply this to your own song in a creative way. If you like this video, you totally want to check out Complete Chord Mastery, so click on the link on the top right. And of course, if you like this video, smash on that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, otherwise YouTube will not tell you when I put up my next video. And if you have any comments, please write them down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and I read all my comments. This is Tommaso Zillia on musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy!